Welcome to the Below the Line podcast. My name is David Duggan, and I'm one of the members of a team made up of experts from the worlds of business, elite sport, adventure, and health and well-being. We are coaches, mentors, and advisors to some of the world's biggest companies and organisations, as well as smaller businesses, entrepreneurs, and people looking to make their mark in the world. Our guiding mantra at Below the Line is live well, perform better. What does that mean, you might ask? Good question. Maybe the easiest way to describe it from our perspective is finding the formula that works for you when it comes to things like looking after your physical and mental health, running your business, developing your career, leading your people, or simply being able to show up as brilliantly as possible into your own life, both for yourself and those around you. That's why each week I sit down with a member of our team or an invited guest to discuss a performance-related topic connected to their area of expertise. We keep it short and sweet so that you can extract all the good stuff and get on with the rest of your day, and hopefully put some of our knowledge, experience and expertise into play for yourself. This week I'm joined by a very special guest, Máirín Ní Bhíacháin, personal stylist, inspirational speaker and entrepreneur. I wanted to talk to Máirín about what we can learn about fashion, clothes and style, and how it impacts our lives and self-image, and what happens when we go through a process of consciously making changes to the types and kinds of clothes we wear. For Máirín, helping people discover or indeed rediscover their personal style is a lot like the experience of working with a coach or mentor, and she goes into great detail about why she does what she does, how transformative the process can be for people, as well as how easy change can be once you've made the decision to do it. You can subscribe at www.belowtheline.ie, where you can stay up to date with our podcast, as well as exclusive online events and sessions, including our Press Pause coaching community. Thanks for listening, and see you next week. Maybe if I just start with a really simple question, but what is it about fashion and style that you're so passionate about?
Okay. Well, I guess I've always been interested in fashion and style from a very young age. And I think it's looking around you in the world and looking at noticing other people's shapes or noticing how other people do it and looking at magazines and just the whole visual side of things and the creative side of things. And, a magazine that I read, I guess I must have been about, maybe about 15 or something. And the person who was being interviewed was a model, a beautiful model. But the beautiful model was saying she liked to dress for her mood. And that kind of stuck with me because I think that's important. It's important to have fun with it. It's an expression of who we are. It's something to be played with. We're not always in the mood to be out there, or to put ourselves forward, but life demands that of us. And if you're doing a presentation or whatever it might be, you need to present yourself. So I do think it is nice to be able to enjoy that process and to have fun with it and to see it as a creative thing and to be able to express the part of yourself, when it comes to style. I think it's important to be able to tap into that. I don't know, does that answer the question? But they're all the things that I love about fashion. It's color, it's style, it's expression, it's saying something about yourself, about maybe giving something to others by what you're wearing and what you're presenting. So I think all those things.
Yeah. And that's an interesting point, giving something to others through what you're wearing.
Like a mood almost. You're trying to give a little bit of joy or something visual, something to others. And life is, can be tedious, but life is for living and for enjoying. So I think it's something to be played with.
And unwittingly, I think sometimes the clothes that we're wearing are saying something about us that we're not necessarily trying to communicate. Would that be the case? Or, what do the clothes we wear say about us?
Well, I will say that not everyone cares about the clothes they wear. Like some people just really don't. And it's maybe very, very low down on their list of priorities. But I guess the people that I'm dealing with have been thinking about style. And so by the time they've come to me, they're actually thinking about it and they want to change it. Something in them is saying, I'm just not happy with, I want to step it up a little bit, or maybe I want to find stuff that actually fits me, that I feel comfortable, or maybe it's from a professional point of view. How do I present myself in my new role, or with my brand, or so there's lots of different reasons. And like when I meet a client, we go through a process of, I have like a style report, and it asks things like, you know, what's your lifestyle like? Or what would you like to say about yourself? Like what keywords, and it might come down to things like, oh, I want to be perceived as confident, or maybe I want to be quirky, or maybe I want to be colorful, or maybe I want to look put together, or, there's all those things. And I think by taking the time to actually do the style reports gets people to drill down into what it is they're looking for. Because clearly, if they've come to me, they're looking for something. So those are the things we kind of start with.
Yeah, because it sounds to me, and I know I said this to you before, you're a style kind of consultant, or that's your role, or that's what but in effect, you're coaching people because you're getting them to step back from themselves. And yes, you're right, they're coming to you because maybe they've changed job, or they're thinking about, or they're just tired of what they're wearing, or they're trying to, as you say, present themselves in a different way out into the world. But you're listening to all that, you're taking all that information in, you're in a sense presenting that back to them, and then you're saying, well, two things really, I think. What do you want to do about this? And let's work with what you have, and let's start to break the patterns, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it.
What happens when you get into kind of looking at their clothes and getting them to start to think about changing?
I don't think it's difficult at all. I think they've made the difficult part by the time they come to me, because they've decided already. So most times people are open to suggestion. So I don't think it's difficult. I think you just need to identify what it is that you want from your style. And like a lot of the time, it does come back to, you were talking about coaching, it does come back to confidence. Like that's the thing. I see that a lot. It really comes down to confidence. So you're trying to get people to break free of like maybe inhibitions, or to sort of to live for now, and to bring the fun and the joy back into things. And styling can be as simple as wearing a color that you like, or it can be as extravagant as the person likes. And when someone comes to me, I'm kind of reading what it is they want to get. So I'll push as little or as much within the space that the person is comfortable. Because you don't want to go away feeling, oh my God, she has dressed me in all these things and I don't feel like myself. You want to feel like yourself, but you want to feel like yourself on a really good day. You want to feel like the better part of yourself. Hopefully, by the time I'm finished with the client, they're going to have a wardrobe that works. The stress is going to be gone. The fun is going to be back. The confidence is going to be heightened. I mean, that is the name of the game. That's the aim for me with a client. So to whatever level the client wants to push it.
For people who are listening to this now and thinking, gosh, do I have to go and kind of throw out my wardrobe, or do you find that actually it's a question of actually, take what's there and just change it up?
Yeah, it's usually small tweaks. And okay, so a lot of the times, usually there might be, maybe we're not 100% comfortable with our bodies. We're not all models. We don't all have the perfect bodies, but it's learning about how to find things that work for you and your shape. You have to dress for you, not for anyone else. So it's about finding things that fit properly and a color that you like, and then building on that.
Yeah. I talk to me about color, because I think that's really interesting. Like, I'm dressed in in black today. But what role do you think colour has in how we put ourselves out into the world?
Again, all these things, I'm not trying to avoid the question, but it's so individual. Color is such an individual thing, and your mood fluctuates. And sometimes, you look really professional in your black, it works really well for you. So that's part of your persona. So, I mean, that works. But for me, depending on the mood, I mean, obviously, I wore lots of color today because I'm talking about color and style, and I do love this, and it makes me, I actually changed my outfit, which is not something that I usually do. But I was wearing something that was kind of dark, and I thought, you know what? The sun is shining. I'm going to go up and I'm going to put on a bit of color. So color is different to different people. So again, that sounds really vague, but it's just about, I guess it's about your skin tone, about bringing out your features, about wearing something that, that maybe makes you feel good. Like maybe you'll have noticed that people say, oh, I love that on you. That top is great. And you kind of go, okay, like I can give you simple tools to find out the colors that work for you, but I don't know whether you want that now. But it's a kind of a process, but it can be really, really simple. But when it comes to, and you said when it comes to wardrobe, you said, do you throw out all your clothes and start again? Absolutely not. It's about, because I think even in terms of the environment and things, and fast fashion and all that stuff, and people probably think, oh my God, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. It doesn't need to. It's about looking at color, at shape, at fit, at how you feel in the things. And then, so if the trousers are too small, maybe you need the next size up, or those kind of things. A lot of us are trying to our wardrobes consist of maybe 50% of the things that fit, and then 50% of the things that used to fit. And I don't think that's good for anyone's confidence. It should be easy, it should be simple. I guess it's working on what you already have. Usually it's like you might go and have to find a new pair of trousers or a new pink top or whatever it might be, or some jewelry, or I don't know, a new blazer. But it's not starting again. You've got them. We all dress ourselves. So we roughly know what works for us and what feels comfortable. So it might be taking it up a notch, or maybe just filling in some missing pieces. So it's not a complete reinvention.
It also sounds to me like it might inform your next purchases.
Totally. Because I think once you've done it once, you kind of know that maybe the things that you're looking for. So it does create smarter shopping and hopefully less stressful shopping. So it just, hopefully, my aim is to make the whole thing easier, simpler, stress-free, and fun.
For men who are listening to this, what can you tell us about, and me in particular, about how we think about our style and fashion?
I would say the same thing as I would say to the women. There's no real difference. I mean, it's about finding what works for you, feels comfortable, looks good. Maybe you have a presentation, maybe you need to, could be advising for a sort of a blazer or something to make a statement. Different, sometimes you want everyday wear that feels good, looks good, but maybe doesn't look like you're in the dark ages, that you'd be able to need to move with the trends a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to start wearing the latest fashion for the kids or whatever. It just means being true to yourself, making sure things fit well, look good. And a lot of what I do is like mixing and matching what we already have. A lot of people seem to struggle about how to put the right shoes with the right, I don't know, for men, with the trousers and the shirt and that kind of thing. It sounds really simple, but sometimes having a fresh eye, and a part of what the process that I do is that we take pictures between me and the client. So there's something about seeing yourself in a photograph that makes it even more real. Because how many times have we seen pictures of ourselves other people have taken and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I look like that. What was I thinking? So it's just trying to I guess, to make the process real and work for you, and a little bit more self-awareness about how we put things together.
Yeah. You're helping people step out of themselves, and it also sounds to me like you're just helping to break, the patterns of, well, I wear this with this. I wear this top with those jeans, and it's almost like I just grab the stuff that's easiest and that I like. But you're right, you could have been doing it for years or wearing it for years. And
or you might say, well, have you thought about, those red shoes? And they think, oh my God, where would I be wearing red shoes? Or like a lot of the questions that when I meet my clients, it's like, well, where would I be? Where would I go with all these clothes? But you have all these beautiful clothes. You obviously bought them because you love them. So a lot of times people struggle with bringing these beautiful clothes into their everyday life. So it's just ideas about how can I wear it? And it does always come back to confidence.
What impact does changing what you wear have on people as you observe people when you're kind of consulting with them?
I just can see a weight lifting off them. And it's like, oh God, I don't have to think about that anymore. It's done. I know what to do. And I know I'm not plugging for business, but I'm thinking, I wish people would do it, give themselves a little treat. It's going to cost you like maybe, I don't know, 100 or 200 euro, but it's massive. Like we would spend that on a night out or, going for dinner. And people they don't do it because maybe I have to think that there's some psychological thing that stops you from actually. It's like living in denial, or I don't know, denying yourself, or maybe you're scared of it, or I guess it's probably a little bit intimidating inviting somebody into your home, but it's somebody. It is like taking a coach for your clothes, So I really do think it's worth it, and it can make things so much. It can simplify things so much.
And then my last question, what's the one piece of advice you would give to anyone listening to this who's now starting to think about what's the first step I should take to change my wardrobe or think about this stuff?
Well, I do think you should dress for yourself and for your shape, not what other people are doing. So it's kind of as simple as that. And then I guess that's it. Be true to yourself. Do your values in life correspond to what you're wearing? It really is. It's quite simple.
Yeah. And then next step, reach out to you. hello@mostyle.ie.
I'll help you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Máirín, thanks very much for that. That was great.
Brilliant.